scene of a tied ball game. Bases are loaded and there's 2 outs with the pressure on. Anything can happen. If you know anything about these 2 sports, could you tell if I was talking about a softball or a baseball game? That's just it. You really can't. Although they share numerous similarities, the 2 are separated as 2 completely different sports. Softball and baseball were created in 2 different time periods by different people on different parts of the world. Even so, the rules that were given to them are what make them so similar. It is a very controversial topic to try to compare and contrast the 2. I should know. I was taught both of these from a very young age. The American profile clearly states some of the differences between them both, just like the ball dimensions, the length of the field, and the allotted playtime. With that being said, I propose a question to you. What do you think is the hardest sport out of the 2 to master? In my speech, I will briefly be discussing the history, comparisons, and differences between the 2 to explain each level of difficulty without any bias. For both sports to be known so well worldwide, their origins are very vague. Baseball is known as America's favorite pastime, but it is said that it didn't even begin in America. The History Channel states that the origins could possibly not be from the U.S., but they do start in the 1800s. There's even been writings of it first being played in Europe. No matter where it began, baseball has spread worldwide and continues to be played this day, the same way it was played in the very beginning, just as is described in the Major League Baseball's rulebook. Softball, on the other hand, has a more direct start, but it's still not 100% true. The WBSC proved that it began in Chicago around 1887 by a men's boat club. This group of men started the game with some chalk, a broomstick, and a boxing glove tied together, which hence the name softball. The sports grew from there rapidly, but softball changed over the years and has many different variations which are all played to this day. One example is the collegiate level of softball, which you can find the rules in the NCAA rulebook. With the rules being what groups these 2 sports together, it's very strange because they have no connection to their background. The 2 major differences that are pointed out are the dimensions of the field and even the differences in the equipment that's used, such as the balls. The American profile again breaks down the basics that there's a round ball in each, a bat, and a glove. There's a pitchers to throw, fielders to assist, and batters who have intentions of scoring runs. There's no time limit on either unless played in tournament style, and innings are played in halves, both defensive and offensive. These half innings are explained in the basic rules of softball.com. Multiple actions can be taken to get these batters out, as a sacrifice, a pop-up, or a strikeout. This would swap the half innings. And the overall setup of the 2 fields are very similar in the fact that there are 3 field bases, a home plate, and a pitcher's mound. When comparing softball and baseball, it's easy to see how one would call them the same, but as you can tell, they're both very different. Some small details, like I said earlier, affect the overall play of each game. With the length of the field dimensions in baseball being longer, baseball players have a small amount of time more than a softball player would to make a decision. On the other hand, according to rulesofsports.com, softball players are given a much better visual advantage by having a much larger ball that is a bright yellow color. The 2 are very well explained by dummies.sports.com. In summary, these athletic events have proven their worth by keeping such a high level of popularity over the years. They have continuous participation worldwide, and no matter where they were originated from, are very famous in all countries. Each sport has molded into similar structure, and that causes them to be grouped together often. So if you're ever caught in an argument on the level of difficulty between the 2, ask yourself this: are softball and baseball really close enough to compare to even say that they are the same, or are they different? Hopefully now you've been shown the basics of each to determine your own opinion and learn a little bit about these 2 great pastimes.